Welcome to the channel. This is our 1 month review of the Ranger Raptor. Had it just over a month now, and we've got 2,454 miles as of right now. We are in the beautiful Owyhee Desert on the Oregon-Idaho border, technically on the Oregon side currently. It's a very washboardy road, so I'm extremely impressed with how well this handles washboards. If you compare it to my Jeep Gladiator, that thing, I feel like it's gonna shake apart every time I come down roads like this.
It's freaking awesome though.
It is pretty fun now. But yeah, it's gonna shake the fillings out of your teeth. But this thing is smooth as butter. Some of the things that I really like about it, it drives like a sports car almost. And I'm not like a sports car guy, but I have driven them. But it's the closest thing, yeah, you are. It's the closest thing to a sports car that I can imagine driving. It just handles so good. The steering is very, I don't want to say stiff, but it's intuitive. It feels the road. The shocks do its thing. And the seats, the bucket seats, they just hold you in. Like, I don't know, it's like a racing seat. It just makes your body stay put.
I mean, they even have the paddle shifters.
They even do have the paddle shifters on here, which I really love. The paddle shifters. It's a lot of fun. I've seen online somewhere that someone was saying that they're plastic. I'm fairly certain that those are metal. Hey, give it the tooth check. See if that's metal. Put your tooth on there.
I don't think so, too.
I think it's a really, really sharp looking truck. In fact, I've seen a lot of people online that are saying that it is not aggressive enough. It doesn't look Raptor-y enough. It might not be like aggressive per se, but it is, you know, it's got this big, bold body Ford up here. It's got the nice headlights. They turn, by the way. When you turn, the headlights turn. That's really cool. But I think it looks just enough different than the regular Ranger to identify it as a Raptor. And if that doesn't help, it's got the decal on the side too. It's kind of a sleeper. It's a good thing that it doesn't look more aggressive because it draws more attention. So, I mean, if you're into getting tickets or whatever, this will do it still. If you want to fly in under the radar just a little bit, but in style, you could definitely do it in this. It does get head turns though. I've had a lot of people stop me at like gas station and stuff and ask me about it. And I think it's a really sharp looking truck.
The twin turbos, they stay spooled up. Like once you get your foot in it, especially in Baja and sport mode, it just keeps you in that power band, that power range, that 3,800 RPM realm. It does downshift quite rough in those though, but I guess the reason why it does that is it gives the tire a little bit of bite when you downshift and you want to pile up some dirt in front of that tire for when you hit the gas again, you've got more traction. That's the excuse I heard anyway. It just feels a little bit rough. Here, I'll put it in Baja mode right now.
Yeah, Baja is very odd shifting, especially on normal roads.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. It just downshifted. It's loud too. So much fun. You got to be careful though, because it really does just like get up and float on some of the loose gravel roads. And I don't know where I'm going. Am I going that way? Sorry. Baja mode turns the screen on. Okay, we're going this way. Sounds so
We're
good.
only going like 50 miles an hour right now.
Yeah, but
it's super loud.
On a washboard road too. Like you just don't feel it. And it's quiet in here too. That's what I like about this truck too. Like compared again to the Jeep Gladiator. It's really quiet. It's nice to drive. The cabin is quiet. You know, you don't hear that wind hitting your windshield. The tires gripping the road all the time. And granted, the Jeep is a convertible. We do have the hothead liner on it with the sound dampener.
Oh, look at that cave.
Oh, that's a cool cave, huh? Really pretty country out here.
Yeah.
This is what we bought the truck for. We bought the truck to do like quick day trips on nasty roads like this, in, out, have a good time, and you can definitely do that in the Jeep too.
The fenders are wider than the regular Ranger. I think they're like 3 inches wider in total. So they do stick out a little bit more. And you got the air vents on the sides and the hood. Cameras everywhere. You got cameras, tons of cameras. The step, give or take, I don't know. I don't think it looks bad. I think it is a little bit awkward for me, at least getting up in there. It's like, once you get to here, you know, like, then you're like, oh, you're all the way up in here. Now it's like, you got to sit down. I think it's just, you just kind of, you know, hey, we got another drone in the house. Nice. It offers some protection, I suppose, but that's not what it's for. Let's not confuse that with a rock reel.
Some other trucks that we were considering when we were looking at this was the AT4X. Checking that one out pretty hard. The Chevy Bison was on the list, and you know, just the Toyota, the TRD Pro Tacoma, that was on the list. That one, the Tacoma was kind of out the window just because the back seat is non-existent in the TRD Pro especially. And then there's the markup that you pay on it. You know, when you're all said and done with the TRD Pro, you're looking at, you know, $75,000 for a mid-sized truck. And it's a 4-cylinder. Granted, it's got a really powerful hybrid motor in it. It doesn't have the ponies. It doesn't have the endless, bottomless pit of acceleration like this thing does. And you got to be careful with it too, because it really feels endless. Like, it just, you know, that old saying where torque puts you back in the seat, horsepower keeps you there. It keeps you there. Like, you know the feeling, right? Like, we've got it up to speed a couple times, doing like the launch kind of deal where you put your foot on the brake, get her up to 2,000 RPMs, and then you let her fly. That'll put you back in your seat, and it'll keep you there until you're about 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, it is a very fast accelerating car. It's pretty fun.
It is fun. It is fun in the right spots, in the right applications. Like, this is a perfect. I've got a huge straightaway, nothing but desert in front of me.
Although you do have lots of hills.
Yeah, I got some hills.
Like, it's like,
you know what? One thing we haven't done in
jump
this?
it.
Yeah, we haven't, right? This is the place to get out and have a little fun. Take a little rip around the desert, you know. And the tires handle these gravel roads really well too. I haven't had it rock crawling yet. I use the Jeep mostly for that kind of stuff, but this does have a front and rear locker, and it has some decent flex to it. You can get it into some sticky situations, and hopefully back out of there. Looking at some of the other comparisons too, the front and rear lockers, that's a huge deal, especially on a mid-sized truck. The Jeep has the 2-inch stock Mopar lift on it, which gives you a little bit more clearance. Granted, the Jeep's wheelbase is like 11 inches longer than this, so it's easier to get high-centered on the Jeep because it's longer, but it's also got the lift. It's probably a wash. I don't know. I think a lot of people are going to put a lift on this, which kind of sickens me. Honestly, like, I think this truck is so perfect the way that it is. I'm not even really considering, although it would look cool. Sorry, I'm coming to a little crossroad here. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, the KO3s, brand new tire, specifically made for the US Ford Ranger Raptor, and they do great out here. They're specifically designed for the suspension and the torque that puts those tires into the ground. So, I mean, I'm not even considering putting a 35 on here because it rides so good. And you're going to take more travel out of your suspension the bigger the tire that you get. So you're going to be, you know, compromised on some of those accidental whoops that you don't see in the road. You might smash your fenders up, you know. Speaking of rocks, these look sharp. I'm going to put those KO3s to the test on this road. Those look sharp. Let's go fast.
yeah.
We do have a full-size spare on this, and it's not riding in the back of my truck blocking my view like the AT4X that I was considering as well. That's such a cool truck. If you have one, I'm a little bit jealous of that truck too, but I think for the value, for the fun factor, you can't go wrong with this in that price range. And I realize that $57,000 is a lot of money for a mid-sized truck, which is what we paid for this. Almost what I paid for this. There was a dealer markup. It wasn't as extensive expensive as the markups that I've seen in my area. So it was a $7,000 dealer markup, but it was the only one in my state. Still, it's the only one in Idaho.
We also were considering getting the Raptor F-150, but it's just such a wide truck, and we wouldn't be able to take it down some of these narrow roads like we would in
That's right.
the Ranger Raptor.
Not without getting some Hawaii County pinstriping.
Yes. And boy, do we know about that on the Jeep.
Yes, we do. And the Jeep is like,
It's awesome.
it's way narrower than this, and it's got scrapes all down the sides.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it is really, really nice having something that can navigate those narrow roads. It's been a long time since I've come down here. Just look at the view. Just look. In the water just in time for the wind to pick up. But that's all right. That's okay. Catch me a fish, dude. When we talk about value, again, another thing that really impressed me about this truck is that it came with an integrated trailer brake, and nothing else did in that price range. Even though it has a diminished towing capacity of like 5,500 pounds, and that's because of the suspension. It's just nice to have that functionality built in, and the mirrors actually are wide enough to tow with, especially when you compare them to the Gladiator. Yeah, that being said, we have not towed with this. Being that we only have a couple thousand miles on it, the dealer recommended that we don't tow until we have over 1,000 miles. We do now. So we need to set the trailer up though, because this comes with like a fancy backing system where you do all the inputs, your weight and your length of your trailer, and then you put some stickers in places and things like that. It has to be done on a level piece of ground somewhere. I haven't had time to do that. I need to do that like this week, because I really do want to tow with it probably in the next week or two, and I can come back on with a review of that as soon as we do that and give you a real world example of how it tows our camper, which our camper is like 3,800 pounds dry. I think it's like 25 foot long, something like that. So it should be well within the towing capacity of that, and I look forward to towing it with this. So I think it's just going to be a nice, quieter drive. Speaking of quiet too, you can dampen the exhaust. Like all the buttons on the steering wheel, it seems like a lot at first, and it seems like it would be clumsy. I promise you it's not. And then you have the R button, which is your custom mode. I have mine typically set to normal mode, normal steering, quiet exhaust, just because I don't like to draw a lot of attention, like in the neighborhoods and stuff like that. When we come out here, we let it open up and breathe a little bit, don't we? Ooh, this is really washboardy right here. No problem.
Also, may I mention that there is a secret glove box right above the old one. So you press this button and it pops up, and you have a little bit of storage room just for any of your secret needs. Also, just very spacious truck, and it's very good quality.
Yeah, it has good visibility too.
Yes.
You can see over the hood really well. quite as well as in the Jeep, but a lot better than in the Toyotas, the Chevys, the GMCs.
Also, we have had a TRD Pro, and it was just not really good, as much good quality as what we were paying for.
Yeah, I gotta say that the Toyota quality really did not impress me, especially for the price of their trucks. You know, you're paying a lot of money for those trucks, and it just did not. You know, the doors were squeaky, the console was squeaky. Everything in here feels really nice to the touch.
Oh yeah,
they got like this nice soft padding for your arms, and it matches the dash really nicely. The only thing I don't like about this though is this the piano plastic there.
Yeah.
It gets really dusty really easily. I don't know why you'd ever put that in an off-road vehicle. It's a dust magnet, but here it is, and we're dealing with it, so it's fine.
May I also mention that it has basically a Tesla-sized screen. It is a massive screen.
Yes, it is, and it's love-hate for me because I love how big it is, and I love that it doesn't stick up over the dash, because that was like my problem with a lot of the Toyotas and things like that, where that screen pops up so high that it inhibits your vision in between your mirror, and you just can't see over the hood because you got a screen in your face. Now, the flip side of that coin is you don't have to look down as far to get that screen in your line of sight. Like if you're trying to follow directions or make a phone call or whatever it is that you're doing from that screen. It is a little bit nice to have it more at eye level for some reasons, but I prefer it this way, even though, you know, it does take a little bit more of a glance down to use.
The back of the truck is also very, very spacious.
Yeah, I am 5'11" and a half. Gotta give me the half, and I fit back there no problem. Plenty of headroom, plenty of legroom, and he's not a small kid either. He's a tall 11. How tall are you now?
Like 5 something.
Yeah, you're a tall guy for your age. And would you say that out of the mid-sized trucks that we drove, that this seat was the most comfortable?
Yes, definitely. The Ford Ranger, just the Ranger, is also pretty comfy seats too.
Yeah, the standard FX4. We're getting 15.2 mpg right now. But I did see when I was driving it normally, like a regular average Joe on the highway going to and from work, I have seen 20 something just on the way here. Actually, we're getting 20 miles per gallon, which I think is above what the sticker was rating. I think the sticker rated it for like 16 to 18, something like that. So yeah, it's not gonna win any awards for fuel consumption. Maybe for the most, but it's miles per gallon. Remember, it's not miles per gallon, it's miles per gallon.
Oh, also, it does have the back window that opens.
Ah, yes.
So you can just roll down.
Yeah, it's got the sliding rear.
Yeah.
That's nice to have. It's not the full roll down like the Tundras have, which is pretty dang sweet, but we'll take that.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, if you ever have a camper shell or something like that on this. While we're talking about the sliding rear, just over here, you have a bunch of auxiliary switches. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. You got 6 auxiliary switches here that you can hook up whatever you want to. I'm probably going to, at one point, get some amber lights for the front grille. I don't want anything up high on this one. I've got the Gravity 6 KC lights on the Jeep, and they're wonderful. They create a little bit more wind noise, and I really don't want to be drilling any holes in this to mount anything. So I'm thinking something in the grille would be better served, and try and keep this have a little bit more road manners for this one. Another thing that this particular Raptor does not offer that all the others do is the moonroof sunroof situation. They don't have it on this, and I've heard that the reason is because of when you're out here hauling butt and hitting stuff like that, they don't want that thing twisting. It puts a lot of torsion on it. When you have the body rolling back and forth and up and down and side to side, it tends to not, glass doesn't twist the way that metal does. So the engineers were like, you know what, maybe on this one let's lose the glass because it's a lot smaller than the other footprints. Should have aired down. It's pretty rocky through here. Would help.
Another thing that we didn't mention before we went to the reservoir is the AC. It is insanely cold.
Yeah, it's really good AC.
Yeah.
Even though this is a black truck and we have several days that are well into the 100+ degrees Fahrenheit, and it manages to keep us cool.
Right below your wireless phone charger, there is a space that has the symbol of a French fry, and it's a place to hold your French fries, and it's just kind of fun.
Recommended French fry holder?
Yeah.
The wheels look good. I didn't get the bead lock capable ones, even though I like to tear around out in here in the desert. I'm not going to be really rock crawling in this truck, so I don't need to get my PSI down so low that I have to worry about losing a bead on the tire. Also, I'm not worried about ripping valve stems off. I'm not like rubbing through rocks or anything like that. I am worried about sharp rocks. There's a lot of sharp rocks out here where we drive.
Also, it does have the cameras that wash themselves. So, like, you can press a button and they wash themselves.
It does?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I guess it probably does. I mean, yeah.
It does not have the little spray thingy on the back camera. It's only in the front, just like the Jeep Gladiator.
I'll go ahead and take care of that while we're here. There you go. I do like that we have the power back here, though. So if you want to throw a fridge back here, or if you want to throw anything powered, like a blender, if you want to make a margarita back here, go to Margaritaville. Go for it, dude. The paint is thin back here. It is very, very scratched up already just from us toting around like coolers and stuff. So probably gonna get a bed liner. Ooh, thank you, buddy. Yeah, I should have brought a bungee for that, huh?
Also, the antenna is able to be taken off. I know all cars are able to do that. I don't know why I'm saying this. What am I doing here?
It also has the spring assist bar back here and the tailgate dampener. So that's a nice handy thing to have. You can basically lift that tailgate with a pinky if you had to. Yeah! These are actually like little anchor points for C-clamps. I don't know why they thought that was necessary.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn my Ranger Raptor into a work truck. I guess you could, you know, there's probably some people that are going to.
When you lock the truck, the mirrors do fold in just like the Tundra TR.
You know what I will say though, that this has that the Tundra doesn't?
What?
Recovery points all over it. I think it's got a total of 4 of them. Couldn't find them on the Tundra. Couldn't find them. The dual exhaust looks good and it sounds amazing too. We'll have to put a microphone back here when we drive so you can hear that. Final verdict, we like it. We like it a lot. We're gonna keep it. It's hard to find the perfect vehicle.
You can't keep a car for more than 4 years, I'm telling you. Except for the Jeep.
Yeah, the Jeep stays.
Yeah. Jeep
hands down.
always stays.
I think this one's gonna stay too though.
Hopefully.
As long as it's mechanically it's sound, it's gonna stay.
Still kind of miss our 88 Land Cruiser.
Yeah, the 88 Land Cruiser that we got rid of to get this, we'll miss. We'll definitely miss. And, you know, maybe one of these days, later on in the future, maybe we'll get another one. But for now, this made more sense for our family, and it's a lot safer.
Has airbags.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned. We'll do updates on this. We're going to be going overlanding and stuff in this. But
Oh, definitely.
yeah, so stay tuned for some of that. All right. See you guys.
Bye-bye. What are you still doing here? Raptor, go.